Hi, I'm Colin Hoobler. I'm a physical therapist here in Portland, Oregon, and with me is
Robert Sandmeier. I'm an orthopedic surgeon here in Portland also.
And together we've built PostureKey, a device specifically designed for people with posture problems, which will also address other impairments and conditions, which I'll mention here in a second. PostureKey takes advantage of several things, most notably the concept of constant torque, which is that it's going to allow the arms to keep falling. But let's look at the details here first. You'll look at when somebody gets into PostureKey, you have various degrees of freedom here. One is that this will slide to accommodate arm length. Another is that it will swivel to accommodate varying levels of flexibility of the shoulder. It will also drop towards the ground, allowing gravity to do work across the joint. And it is also adjustable from a superior to inferior position, up and down here. And you can see how much degree of freedom we have here. We can put as low as we want. Now we're going to put Robert in here, in the device, and we're going to start him in the fully relaxed position, which means he gets in, and I'm going to start, this is the fully relaxed position actually for the shoulder based on the stretch. So notice his feet are up to prevent arching, because arching will increase stress on the spine. He's going to exhale, which means it's going to pull the ribs down. That will prevent arching. And now very slowly, he's going to let his arms down, but he's also going to keep the shoulder blades down. And notice the stretch that he's going to get as he lets those arms down. There you go. How much of a stretch do you have? Is it pretty strong?
You feel it pretty well right there.
Yeah, it's a pretty strong stretch there. Now, what we want to really appreciate here, notice how the longer that Robert holds this, gravity will continue to do work across his shoulder joint. So he's stretching the pecs and the shoulder, but it's not going to be limited by the flexibility here, but rather by how much work that gravity is doing on the joint to stretch those muscles. Now to come out of it, he's going to come up, bring him to just reverse the action, try not to arch, and then he's going to go ahead and sit up. Here, I'll hold this one.
And the other thing to notice is that the amount of force is really very low. It's primarily just the weight of the arms. So we're not worried that we're going to put too much force on things where somebody could hurt themselves, because it's really the weight of their own body part.
And which tends to be enough. So which is actually a pretty long lever, the distance from the axis being his shoulder all the way out to his hand. So gravity is doing work, constant torque rather, across his whole arm to stretch the pecs. Now if you'll notice too, with Robert, if you have really poor posture, which is here, we're going to make Robert look like an old man, which is actually a lot of people in their 40s and 50s look like that. We can market this device as a posture enhancer, which will then stretch the pecs and the shoulders, allowing him to stand up straighter. It will also address really common conditions that we see in the clinic: impingement syndrome of the shoulder, degenerative disc disease of the spine, and even frozen shoulder itself. Here's another thing. I can also adjust this. It's a standard bench, so if the person is really fragile and we don't want gravity to do as much work, I can adjust the height of this bench to accommodate that. If I want more work across the shoulder and I want the pecs to be stretched more, I can bring it all the way down. This is max torque here across the entire pec. And this, of course, flattens. The other thing that it does is while he's doing that, notice he was having to keep his belly in to prevent arching. You could promote this actually as a core stabilizing exercise as well. So thanks for listening. We appreciate it.